All right. So good morning. Again, if you've been with me all week or for other workshops, welcome back. We're glad to have you here. Kind of feel like my own classroom right here. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces and names out there. I do want to say that, yeah, I love to have your video on and see your faces, but I know it's just like with your students. Sometimes students don't want to be on camera or they don't want to show their environment around. So it is fine if you don't turn on your camera. I know maybe some of you are still in your PJs. That is certainly okay. And another thing is some people don't turn their camera on because of bandwidth, that their internet connection is not very strong. So if you do have internet connection problems today and you are showing your video, you've got your video turned on, turn that off and see if that might help with your connection today as well. So I will go ahead and start sharing my screen here. And again, if this is your first time with us, know that you can do a split screen. You can exit out of full screen of me sharing my screen. You can exit out a full screen of the Zoom meeting. In the upper right-hand corner of the Zoom meeting, there's a couple different views you can have. So feel free to play around, click on those. If you're not for sure, put your questions in chat. And we've got Elizabeth with us today as well. She can help out, and I see always in these workshops, other people step up and help out and answer questions too. So feel free to do that, and we're glad to have you here. Hopefully this isn't stressing you out. Take a deep breath. If you're struggling out there, again, if you've got chat, if you know where that is, feel free to put your questions in chat and we will help you. If not, if you still have problems trying to add this to your drive, we can show you again at the end. A few minutes ago, I showed how to add it to Drive, but we'll go ahead and get started today. So I see that Elizabeth and some other people are posting the link in there, so you can access this slide deck and you will have it available after today. So welcome. You came to the YouTube and Google Sites presentation today, so hopefully you will learn something new that you can take back to use with your students or even with your personal life. So glad to have you here. A couple housekeeping items to sign in today for today's workshop. The sign-in sheet. Again, if you have full screen and you can't sign in right now, that's fine. You can sign in at the end of the workshop or send me an email, or Elizabeth or Brian Bates an email, and we can help you out. And again, here on slide 2, step 2, here's a bit.ly link to this presentation. If you can see it on my screen, you can type it in as well. If not, it should be in the chat room. You can just copy and paste that into a new tab. And then you can add it to your drive, or you can even bookmark it to access it later. At the end of the workshop, I do have a Google evaluation. If you could fill out, I have been trying to read through those to take to see what you guys need. That's why some of these workshops, I did some of these workshops before, and they were maybe less time. People had requested, hey, can you do another one? Could you make it a little longer? I did make this one 2 hours. Will we need the full 2 hours? We'll see, depending on questions. I did throw in some slides in here about Google Chrome that I might have a chance to talk about as well if people are wanting to know about that. So again, fill out this Google evaluation at the end. And then you will also get an ISB evaluation within the next 24 to 96 hours. I think the workshop yesterday, I don't know if any of you were in the workshop yesterday, if you received your evaluation yet. I don't think so, but if you have, okay, people are shaking their heads no. So again, allow 24 to 96 hours. Usually the turnaround's been approximately 24 to 48 hours, if not sooner, but don't panic if you haven't received yours from yesterday. I know the one, what is today? The one from Tuesday, people didn't receive until I think during the workshop yesterday. So it was about 24 hours later. And then once you fill out that evaluation, that's when you will get your evidence of completion. which is your professional development hours. You'll get 2 professional development hours today. And then that's when you log into your Ellis account, if you're from the state of Illinois, and you'll enter your 2 PD hours into your license or for your certificate. I do have a link here if someone wants to print this this slide deck later. I created a PDF file that you can print, and you can have access to that as well. So another thing here that people were asking is, I do call this a slide deck. It's Google Slides, and it's the presentation form, kind of similar to Microsoft PowerPoint. So if you hear me reference, I say, look at slide deck or look at slide 3 or whatever it may be, this is what I'm talking about, this Google Slides that you have here on your screen. And then I have been uploading the recording to the YouTube channel here that if you want to, for some reason, to go back to look at. Again, I know some of you have little ones out there that you're trying to learn and take this workshop as your kids are running around, and your attention might be to them more than to this workshop. So hopefully then you can go back and access it if you really do want to learn some about YouTube and Google Sites. So feel free. I'm seeing people are introducing themselves in chat. Again, hopefully some of you are increasing your professional learning network out there and getting to know other people in these workshops. We've had several people throughout the last few weeks, maybe the last month. So it helps, and it gives you other people you can ask questions to as well, even hopefully after this workshop is over. So if you are new here today, my name is Lisa Schwartz, and this is my 21st year in education. My first 19 years in education, I taught 6th through 9th grade at Quincy Public School. It's in Quincy, Illinois, and that's kind of, if you see up here on the map, it's on the far western side of the state. And I've taught various subjects. Mainly I did teach computers and computer science, and it was the Microsoft platform. So the last few years of my teaching career, I did try to learn Google and teach that and work with that with the students. But the students, I let the students know I was learning. I made plenty of mistakes, but they saw me as a learner. And then it also kind of gave them a challenge to maybe know more than the teacher. And I learned how to be comfortable not knowing everything and having the kids teach me things. So hopefully if you're not there yet, you will be someday soon, to allow the kids to help you, and they can see how you are a learner as well and just not a teacher. So the last 2 years I have been working with the Learning Technology Center. If you look here on this map, I work with 10 ROEs in these counties and all of the schools within those ROE districts. So some of you I've met before, many of you, this is maybe the first time meeting through these virtual online workshops. So glad to have you here, glad to help, and looking forward to this workshop today. We've got Elizabeth here with us as well, so I'll let Elizabeth go ahead and talk and introduce yourself as well.
Hi guys, I'm Elizabeth Byam, and I also work for the LTC with Lisa. I am currently a K-12 instructional technology coach way up in Northern Illinois on the Illinois-Wisconsin state line. Previous to taking this position this year, I taught 4th grade for 10 years in Riverbend School District, so a river city town right along the Mississippi. Lisa, we do have a couple of people in the chat asking for you to go over how to save it to their drive again. And I know there were a couple other people that I was answering. Some of you may not have all of the tools just because there are so many people on the presentation right now. So rest assured you will get those tools as soon as people start coming off of the document. It won't be, there won't be quite as heavy traffic. So if you could show them that once more, Lisa, that'd be great.
Yeah, I can, and thanks, Elizabeth. And hopefully we can get Elizabeth talking a little bit more today if she has time. If not, she's helping immensely in the chat. I've got a split screen here, so sometimes if you don't see me looking at the camera, I might be looking at my other monitor. And on that monitor is where I have my Zoom grid and everyone who's with us, and that's where I have my chat as well. But I will tell you, it's hard to present and look and read at the chat as well. So I did, as Elizabeth was talking, I did read that we have someone here that it's their 7th training with us. So glad to have you back. Hopefully you are learning, and hopefully we are doing something right here. So so what I did, I went to my personal account to show you. Then I put in the link that was in the chat room, and I created this bit.ly link just so that it was a shortened URL for you, so that you didn't have to copy and paste a long one, and or if for some reason people are typing it in. So once you have the link here, then up here there should be a triangle with a plus sign right here. What this will allow you to do is add this to your drive so you can access it later. Now, some people might want to put it on their bookmark bar. You can do that as well. As you can see, my blue star is already there because it's telling me, hey, I've already got this bookmarked. But if you don't, all you have to do is click on this star. It should be clear. When you click on it, it turns blue. And you could put it on your bookmark bar, or you could, if you manage your bookmarks, you could put it in a folder. So that's another organization. Again, multiple ways to organize things that, whether it's websites, you can organize in your drive or on bookmarks. So if you're not familiar with bookmarks, my suggestion, add it to your drive so you can access later. Does that cover it, Elizabeth, or was there anything else that?
I think that we're good to go. If anybody has any questions, if you could stick it in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much. Again, if you're new, don't know much about the LTC, here on slide 5, it tells you what the LTC does. What I mainly do in my role is help with professional development with educators throughout Central Illinois. With the online learning, I help with anybody within or throughout Central, or throughout Illinois, not just necessarily Central. So we're glad to have you wherever you're from. A couple other things here. The LTC community, if you have a chance to join this, it is totally free, and it's a place to ask questions. Again, we're all at different places in our journey with our Google learning or with our technology use. So there are people out there who are willing to help, even if you think, oh, should I know this answer already? Which sometimes I even think that at times, that it's okay. You could post things to this community. And again, at the end, I can show you how to sign up for free if you'd like to. With the LTC community, since I'm already a member, all I have to do is go to the community. And what I've done, I go to the community often, so I have pinned it to my bookmark bar, and I have removed the name from it. So I just know by clicking on this icon, I can go to the community. And within the community, there's different groups I can belong to. So with the Google group here, last night I was helping an educator out there about the Google exam. Google's changing their platform, and I can explain that later as well. And so I had a question, I posted it out there. This was last night at the end of the day, maybe it was around 5 o'clock, so not many responses yet. I did have a comment from another educator, and then I replied back to that educator. So it's another place, kind of similar to Facebook, if you see people posting questions about technology, or even if it's not about technology, you're reaching other people beyond your school district. So again, it's another place to build your professional learning network and get to know people throughout the state of Illinois. So, and then here's some other links here about the LTC. Feel free to check those out as well. So overview for the day, we are going to go over YouTube and sites, and then if we have time, we're going to go over Google Chrome. And if you already know some of the things that I'm talking about, feel free to look in the slide deck. We've got some links to other resources out there for you as well. So with when we are using YouTube or Google Sites, you want to always make sure you're using the Chrome web browser. They play nicely with each other, and sometimes some of the features in some of these apps only work in the Chrome web browser. So a while back, I had a teacher email letting me know she was needing help with the voice typing in Google Docs. And one of the things I told her to troubleshoot is to make sure she was opening up Google Docs in the Chrome web browser. And sure enough, she found out she was opening Google Docs in Safari web browser. And so not all of the features will work in different web browsers out there. And then, so here on slide 9, I'm going to switch over to a new tab and show you YouTube and talk about it. So I'll refer back to this to make sure I'm covering the things that I have put here. So I will tell you, as an educator, YouTube was maybe one of the hardest, or one of the apps that it took me a bit to really understand. Maybe, I don't know, just because I didn't use it that much, or it just didn't think like my brain was thinking. So again, when you're learning these apps, don't be hard on yourself. Hopefully take time, have your kids help you, whether we're in remote learning or in the classroom, and just be willing to learn and show them that you don't know everything. So today you might see that I don't know everything about YouTube. So hopefully you'll be nice about that, and you can unmute if you know something or put it in chat. So to go to YouTube, how I go, I can either just type in youtube.com or come up here to the waffle and go to YouTube. I think YouTube, originally Google didn't own YouTube. YouTube was bought by Google. I think I know the year, but I'm not 100% on that. Again, right now, if you want to Google it and let us know in the chat, please let us know when Google acquired YouTube, and feel free, if you find out how much they paid for it, put that in the chat as well. So when I first go to YouTube, my home page here is things that are recommended out there. Sometimes it's based on the algorithm of different videos I go to, or sometimes things are just out there. If looking at this first 4 here, these 3 I have visited their YouTube pages before. Looking at this one, National Theater, I don't remember that, so don't know if that's like thrown in there as an ad, and some of these other ones. But anyway, we've got the home page here, and then underneath, of course, we've got the COVID-19 news, and just keep scrolling down, and there's just different videos here showing you here. So if you haven't done this already, if you go over here to the right hand side to your Google Chrome picture, and this is managing your Google account. If it says activate your channel here, go ahead and activate your channel. Some of these things that we're going to do today, you have to have an activated channel to access. So if you don't have that, you might want to do that now. If you can, I do realize some of you aren't doing the split screen and you're just watching today, and that is perfectly fine. Over here then, so I've got home. If I want to see what's trending out there on YouTube, I can do that. I know, again, I will tell you, YouTube isn't always my first place I go to look for information, but this younger generation, this is where they go. So you could go to trending if you want to, show your students that, some things, go out to YouTube and see what maybe they're watching or learning about. Then I've got subscriptions here. So when I think of subscriptions, I think about, subscribing to a magazine. Well, with YouTube, you can subscribe to people's channels. So right here, these videos that are listed here are based off of my subscriptions of the different channels I am subscribed to. So I think I'm subscribed to the NBC channel. So then I am getting a bunch of videos here on NBC.
Excuse me. We have a few people that are having problems finding how to activate their channel. We have some people asking if it's create a channel.
Okay, you know what? It could be, say, create a channel. Try that.
And the other question I had for them was if they were in their school account, their education account too.
Okay.
That could make a difference as well.
Yeah, that could. Let me go to this account here and see. I don't think I've activated. So if I'm going to YouTube here and then I go up here to my Google account, okay, yep, you're right, it is create a channel now. It used to say activate a channel, so great, thanks for asking that question.
And if you want to just go over where to find that again, that you have to click on your icon at the top.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So once you're at YouTube and you haven't created your channel, if you come over here to your Google account icon, so this is Blake's account right now, and I come down here and hit create a channel. What this will allow me to do is to upload videos, and it basically, what it says, create a channel. So it used to say activate a channel. So as you can see, Google can push out updates at any time. Do we always know all of the updates they push out? We don't. So as you can see, I learned something new from you guys today, that they changed the name from activating a channel to creating a channel. So that's one thing I do. I love questions, but to manage this many people, that's why we've got Elizabeth here helping out as well, that to put your questions in chat. But normally with a live presentation or a classroom, I like people to ask questions whenever you have them. So when you have them, put them in chat and we will hopefully get them answered. And thank you, Elizabeth, for letting me know those questions were being asked.
Sure. Someone asked if they should use their real name or create a custom name. And then another teacher said that they don't want to use their real name. I believe this is part of when YouTube did the branding last year. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lisa.
Okay.
But they can't, you have to pay to have a custom name now. Is that correct?
Yeah, you have to pay. You have to have at least 100 subscribers to even be considered to have a custom, I think, URL within YouTube. So, and that's for, like Elizabeth just mentioned, with branding. If they think that you are, with our education accounts, I don't think we can use them as a branding account to try to make money. Let's say we have several hundred or thousands or whatever it may be subscribers. I can't get sponsors to pay me to run ads on my YouTube channel through my education account. So, and then the other question, should they use their name? Do you have an option to change that now?
I think you have to use I think you have to use your name that's associated with the Google account.
Yeah.
So that all changed, I believe, last summer.
Okay. Thanks, Elizabeth. So if you don't want to create a channel, that's fine. You don't have to, but I was just, if you wanted to, so you can have more access to some of the things I'm showing you today, you do need to create a channel. But again, you can just watch if you would like as well.
And if you're creating one, your videos can be set to like unlisted. So if somebody searched your name, they wouldn't necessarily see all of your videos, and we'll probably get to that in a little while. Yeah. I had another person ask if they have several accounts, if their name could be used on several accounts. And yes, as long as your name is on that, whatever Google account that you're associating it with. Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Thanks, Elizabeth. So we've got the subscriptions then. And again, this is just like a tab, all of the videos that have been put there from the channels that I subscribe to. So I'm going to jump down here to subscriptions. So you can see right here to the left-hand side, some different people or organizations that I subscribe to. It says show 34 more. I can subscribe to any that I want. The Science Mom, I thought, during this time of remote learning, I thought she was really neat and some good ideas. And I think she's been going every day. So if you're a science teacher out there, or a parent or whatever, here's some great resources you can use with your students or your own kids learning about science. And you can subscribe. So anytime she puts a new video in there, it gives me a notification. Up here in the top right-hand corner is where my notifications come. It's the bell. It says I have 9+ notifications. Do I have to look at that? I don't. I can just always go to the Science Mom channel and take a look at it. So she's got over 30,000 subscribers. And to subscribe, all you have to do, this should probably be a red button saying subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe any longer, you can click on subscribe and you can unsubscribe. So again, what does subscribe do? It just kind of puts all of her videos over here on the left-hand side, and all I have to do is click on Science Mom to learn and to see all of her videos she's posted. But if I don't like the subscriptions, I don't have to subscribe. It's just another way to make it easier and to organize maybe if different videos maybe that you go and look at all of the time. So within Science Mom, then this is her home page. It shows favorites. So what YouTube does, it does keep track of all of the analytics of people, how many people's watching your videos. People can comment on them if you want to turn that on. And you can reply back to them. You can see what the average length of or a time that people are watching the videos. So on the back end, there's a lot of analytics, especially if you are trying to become a famous YouTuber and make millions of dollars on your side for your side hustle, right? So if you go, here we've got home. If I go to videos, that's just another tab. I can see her videos. And then if you look, it's usually in chronological order of how it goes from when she's posted them. Playlist, if there's any playlist that she has. So right here, she's got the math and science lessons during quarantine, math dad versus science mom. So right here, it says there's 40 videos in here. There's 47. So the number you see above that, whenever I hover over it, the number goes away. But the number above that that's how many videos are in that playlist. So if I go to one of her playlists here, it'll play the first video here. And right over here, it shows the playlist. Do I have to watch all of them? No, but if this playlist, if I want my own students, to take time to look at these videos or give them choice, say, okay, out of this playlist of videos, this might cover a certain science topic, and you can maybe give your students choice. Watch 2 of the videos, choose 2 of the videos. Instead of you telling them which video to watch, they've got some choice. And, oh, I really want to learn about extracting DNA from strawberries because I really like strawberries. Or if someone's fascinated about the color of blood, or if someone hates to look at the color of blood, they don't have to watch that. They can watch a different one. So what I've learned with students and even with adults, giving them choice in what they're learning helps the learning process, and they're more involved with their learning. So again, this playlist, then what I could do, I can share this out with students, even within my Google Classroom, or I can put the videos on Google Slides, or I can even put videos on forms. So what's nice about when you put these playlists or videos on Google Slides or Google Classroom or forms, it doesn't have other videos there that might come up of advertisements. It doesn't have advertisements. Sometimes you'll see advertisements on some of these other slides. Those are taken away. So I know some people are hesitant to use YouTube because of that. Well, if you put it in the Google environment, in your classroom, forms, or slides, then they will play without the advertisements. Again, I know I will be covering that tomorrow on Google Slides, but Elizabeth and I will stay on afterwards. If there's some things I touch on about Google Classroom or something and you have questions, feel free to stay on at the end as well. But so let's say, I like this playlist. I want the students to choose, 2 videos from here to watch and, create something from what they've watched or doing an assignment. I can just click right here and hit share. So then what I can do, here's the copy of the link to this playlist. So I've copied it. If I open that in Classroom, then I can just put that link in my classroom and put it as an assignment for the kids then to look at. So I can go into my classroom. If you're not using Classroom, if you use a different LMS, a learning management system, that's fine. You might have to learn how you can maybe put it in that learning management system. But if I go to this Classroom and I go to classwork, and up here I hit create assignment, then I can put in the link right here. So let me put in Science Mom, and I'll go to add. I'll hit the link. You know what? Let me go. I'll go to YouTube and I'll put the link in here. If I didn't already have the link, could I go ahead and search it from Classroom? I could, but my goal right now is to teach you about the YouTube environment. And then I've got the link there of the YouTube video. And you know what? Did I just do the video? Maybe I just did the video instead of the playlist. Look at, she's even got some worksheets here that you could download and have your students complete as well. So let me see. If I just did the, okay, so I just did the video. If I wanted to do the playlist, I don't know if you saw where I came here, view full playlist. And then right here, this is where I can share the playlist of all of these videos. So right here, do you see in the URL here, it says playlist, hit copy, because my other URL didn't have playlist in it. And then I can just hit add. Then I can put it in my URL and paste it. Oh, is it not letting me put a whole playlist in? Okay, so I'm learning something new here. Unless if I'm doing something wrong, it's not letting me add a whole entire playlist. I can only add videos at a time. I could maybe just give the link to the students, put the link here, tell them to go to this link, and then they could go to the playlist link from there as well. But so here's within this playlist, you've got the different videos here. What you can do, you can shuffle the play here if you'd like. You can save this playlist so you can access it later and remember where it's at. And then anytime you see the 3 extra dots, click on those 3 dots to see what it is. For this would report playlist if there was something inappropriate on there for kids. So again, what I did, I first went to Science Mom. I had subscribed to her. Again, you can search any videos out there to see if you want to subscribe to them. Can I unsubscribe to any of these at any time? I can. And basically when you subscribe to them, it just lets you, it puts a tab over here of your subscriptions, and it's just an easy way for you to go look at her videos instead of me searching it all the time. So either way is fine. Again, with technology, there's multiple ways to do the same thing. You do the way that fits best for how you learn and for your organization system. So those were subscriptions. If I go down, let's see. Let me go back up here. So I jumped down to subscriptions because that's where I was talking about right there. And I wanted to show you. If you see right now, NBC News is live. Anytime you see those parentheses and a red dot in the middle, that shows that they are live streaming something right now. Another thing, if you are in here, it's also saying, hey, it's live now, and it's letting me know how many people are watching it right now. If I go up here to my library, so again, my library is basically my history. So it shows what I've watched here on YouTube. This one, you know, this was some funny. If you haven't seen this Progressive commercial about a Zoom meeting, I don't know, it caught my attention. So I looked it up. I saw it on TV, so I looked it up later. So anytime if I go and search for something, so I started, my youngest son is 13. He was talking to me about Dude Perfect. And so I looked him up to see, he said, oh, Dude Perfect had a funny Zoom meeting out there. So I was trying to find that. So if I want to, I looked it up, and as I'm looking it up, did you see right here, it says add to queue. This is something new that YouTube pushed out within the last couple months, or maybe it's been 6 months, but anyway, add to queue. If I click on that, if you look right down here to the bottom right-hand side, here's maybe some videos I want to watch. It adds it to my queue, and I can play it as I'm doing something else. And then after I get done playing this one, it'll show the next video that I have in my queue. If I don't want that anymore, I can just click X and X out of it, and it will clear my queue. It basically, then it closes my player. Okay. Also, and on any of the videos here that you see, besides adding it to your queue, you can watch later. This is kind of a built-in bookmark. So if I hit watch later, it's added to basically my bookmark list, watch later. So if I come over here to watch later, I've got all of these videos. I have 68 videos that I put in here to watch later. I find sometimes though, I put in videos here, and do I ever go back to watch them later? No, but I want, it just gives me satisfaction to do that if it's something that I really like and I think I want to be able to find it easier. Again, you've got the search up here. You can hit search and, you know, type in what you're looking for and it should come up. But if not, you can, if you're worried about finding it later, you can hover over the video and hit the clock, and that will create, will put the video in your watch later section. And again, your watch later right now, I know Elizabeth touched on your playlist, you can set to private, public. Videos you upload, you can do the same thing. Right now, this is set to private. I can, if you click on my 3 dots here, I can remove watch videos if I want, and then I can even shuffle the play of them. I don't know with the watch later if you have access to change it from private to public. So again, that's something, someone has time and they want to Google it and to find out, find the answer, let us know. So after library, the history just shows you the videos that I've watched, or you can even see what I've searched for, any comments, the community, and then there's a live chat. So again, just like with other search histories, you can clear all the everything you've watched, you can pause it, or you can, you know, manage all of your activities. So here's another thing. And I know some school districts might block YouTube completely. Some school districts may have you approve the videos that you push out to the students as well. So check with your school district on what their policy is on you using YouTube. Over here, also here on the left-hand side, I've got your videos right here. So all of the videos I've uploaded to YouTube are shown right here. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But again, when you are hovering over the videos, do you see I have my watch later there? And then I can add it to my queue to the bottom right-hand side of my monitor here. Underneath my videos, can kind of take a quick look here that you can see if it's unlisted or if it's private. So if it doesn't say that, then it's public out there for other people to see. So again, you can upload videos here, but people can, don't have to see all of them based on how you've got it set. And so what I've done for these Google workshops this past week, I created a playlist that you have access to, and you can look, go back to look at any of these workshops too, if you need information and you forgot how I did something. So what I've done, I've set it to public, and when I gave you access, then you can access all of these. You can play the videos in order. If you own the videos, you can move the order of them by dragging them and dropping them. Or you used to be able to. Let me click on these three dots here. I can remove them if I want to. Yeah, okay, so I guess maybe I physically can't, or maybe I just have to come over here. Whoops. And hit the three dots. Sorry, I clicked on it and so I have to click the three dots, and here it says move to top or move to bottom. So I've got some other options here. I thought in the past I could physically just kind of drag and drop, but either I'm doing something wrong or I don't have that feature here in YouTube. And then so if you look right here, here's some of the other playlists I have. So you can create playlists with any videos out there from anybody. So it doesn't have to be the ones you created. So if I wanted to, right here, funny videos, I just created a playlist called funny videos, and I put in some different videos in here. This was just me playing around with it. Jerry Brooks, he's my go-to guy to show some of his videos and workshops. He is a principal from Kentucky. He's so relatable, and his videos are usually 3 minutes or shorter. So a quick, I guess, play. I can play him real quick, 3 minutes or shorter, to get a good laugh for the day.
Someone said that if you grab the 3 lines to the left of the video, that's where you can grab it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I guess I had tried that earlier, and I don't think I wasn't patient enough with doing that. So thank you. Because yeah, I knew you could at one time, but I had tried, and again, I don't think I was patient enough. So thank you. So then with this playlist, I can share it with my students if I want. I can shuffle the play as well. I can edit it, edit the title there. I can put a description here. So to create a playlist, all I have to do is I'll go here and let me just see. I'll just stick with the Jerry Brooks video here. So if I click on his video.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can.
Okay. So again, if I put the link of this in my Google Classroom for forms or slides, the ads won't play. And right here with this video, then if I want to add this to my playlist, anytime you see these 3 lines here and the plus sign, I can click on that and I can add it to a playlist. This is yet another way to organize all of the videos out there. If I want to put it in a playlist that I have right here, I can. If not, I can create a new playlist and I can put it in here. I can enter the name of the playlist. I can make the playlist public, unlisted, or private. So you've got that as well, and then just hit create. I don't want to create a new playlist. Let me just see. Let me just put it in funny just to show you. Okay, it's there. It's showing me I already put it in funny. So it's in my playlist funny then. If I click on these 3 dots here, again, if you're watching a video, you can, if there's something inappropriate there, you could report it. There's also a transcript you can open, and then there's translations that you can add to this as well. you can also, with your videos, you have closed captioning. So, if you have students with disabilities and they need to be able to see what is being said, or you just have students who like to see what is being said, you can turn that on. You also have a gear. So I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you turn on the gear, there is a way you can speed up some of the videos if it's going too slow. I thought it was under the gear.
Can help. This sentence.
So you've got some other options here under the gear, and maybe this gear is just for closed captioning. But there is a way you can speed up sometimes some of the videos. That's subtitles. Okay, maybe it'll come to me here in a minute. Or Elizabeth, do you know where that's at?
Sorry, I was on a different screen. Can you?
No, that's fine.
Can you do us a favor and drop your link to your YouTube channel in the chat? It just says YouTube at the top, but.
Okay, I think I might have it here on slide 2.
We couldn't search you by name.
Say what?
When I was trying to search you, I could not search you by name, and I think some of the participants were trying to do the same.
Yeah, I think there's a famous Lisa Schwartz out there that you probably got. Is she famous on Instagram or something?
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah. So yeah, if you go to slide 2 and you click on this, the link here on step 5, that's my YouTube channel. And yeah, people can subscribe to my YouTube channel if they would like. Woohoo! I think I have maybe 20 subscribers or so. Again, YouTube, I haven't used a lot in the past. But did everybody find that then? Is that what you were asking about, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I think that should do the job. I'm just trying to catch up in the chat now.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so if you go to the videos, then you can put a playlist in. You can add it to a playlist. You can create a playlist. You can add it to watch later. So you can, with all of this information out there, you can.
Is grammatically. So for some reason, we still have some.
Oh, let me see. Let me put it back full screen here. From the videos, you can add it to the playlist, and or you can just share out the link to it. So if you want to share this with your students, this video, you can just copy the link right there. Another thing here, when you share out a video, do you see where I say, oh, start at 2 seconds? I can decide where the video starts for my students. I don't know if some of you have used Edpuzzle, or even in Google Slides, you can control what your students see with the video. So if I want it to start at 2 seconds, do you see how the URL changes, and it will start it at 2 seconds here. If I want to start it at, let's say, 10 seconds, just change that right there, hit enter, and it changed the URL so that the time is equal to 10, and it knows that it will start the video at the 10-second mark. So if you do find a video, especially if you find a video that may be 15 minutes long, and the kids won't watch it all, and you want them to watch from 7 minutes to 10 minutes, you could have that set up to start at the 7-minute time frame if you would like.
Is there a way to get the video portion to end at a certain time?
If you put it in Google Slides, you can. Let me see. So right here, I've got this video, and I go to Format Options, and if I go to Video Playback, I can have it start at a certain time and end at a certain time. So if I insert the video in my Google slide deck, I can do that. And to insert a video, all I have to do is hit insert video. Again, if I know the URL, I can paste it here. If not, I can search YouTube right now and insert a video here. Hit select. So here I've got the video. I've got format options. Now remember, if format options doesn't come up over there, don't panic. Make sure you're clicked on the video and then come up here to format options. Okay. And right here, I can start it at a certain time and I can end it at a certain time. So then when the kids are watching it, you've got to be in presentation mode. And then right down here, did you just see how it's starting at 20 seconds and it's going to end? Did I put 3:05 or 3 in there? But it just jumped right ahead to the 20-second mark.
So the only way to select when it's going to end is to put it in Google Slides, but you can decide when it's going to start if you in the share part of YouTube.
Yes, correct.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think in the shared part that you have the option of when it ends, because it'll just, you're telling it where to start.
Okay. I also had some people in the chat asking about editing the closed captions. And I went online, I Googled it real quick, and I did find some instructions. So if you want to, maybe we can try to work through this together.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know how to do it?
The editing, the closed captioning?
Yeah.
No, I've never
Okay,
edited closed captions.
Well, maybe I can read the directions and we can do it together.
Okay.
I think we'll have to turn on the closed caption for a video. And then it says at the top right, click edit.
Do you see the top right?
No.
So when you have closed, I had to turn closed captioning on a side note here. Here's my playback speed. So I can have it go faster if I think that people are talking too slow. But it looks like I have to have closed captions on. Help me out. Why would you want to edit the closed captions?
We had one teacher say that she teaches French, and so oftentimes it's wrong.
Okay, perfect.
So she would like to be able to correct it if necessary.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Where you can edit, though.
I don't know. Maybe we can try to figure it out and look at the end a little bit more too. But again, so you're seeing, I don't know everything. Elizabeth doesn't know everything. We're learning. How did she learn about this? She Googled it to look up how to edit closed captioning in YouTube. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just nice to have a human there that you can go to and talk with and ask, how do you do this? Again, we all differently.
Oh, sorry, somebody said upper left.
Upper left.
So maybe, I don't know if you have to click.
Can it be, can I edit the closed captioning on someone else's video?
That could be.
I don't know.
It says click on closed caption and then it appears in the upper left, is what someone just said.
Okay, oh, right here. But it says English auto-generated, go to settings. So subtitles right here. Auto-translate. Here we go. So there we go.
I think that there's still a way that you can edit the line by line is what.
Okay. So yeah, if we figured it out, let us know. But so if you turn on closed captioning there in settings, what I was talking about earlier, you can change the playback speed. Like Elizabeth is letting us know, you can change the subtitles from English to another language. So you can turn them off if you want. You've got options, maybe here under options. Again, if you have students with who are colorblind and it's a certain color, or they can only see certain colors, you can change the color here. So again, technology helps immensely with differentiation. I know one year I had a student who, when I made photocopies, I had to make it on a certain colored paper because of his disability. So when we bring technology into the mix, sometimes it just takes a click of a few buttons to do that. So maybe, Elizabeth, if you have time, look at that more. Or if anybody out there wants a challenge, kind of look up how we can maybe edit the subtitles then. But right down here on the video, you've got these different buttons here and that you can click. And I clicked on them and not hovered over it. Usually when you hover over it, so when I hovered over this one, it turns it into the mini player, puts it at the bottom right-hand corner there. I have a theater mode view if I want. I usually then have this play on TV mode and then full screen. So feel free to play around with those to see the difference and what you like. Again, anytime you see the 3 dots here, sometimes it's other options. Majority of the time here in YouTube, it's options as far as sending feedback to Google about if there's something inappropriate about the video. So feel free, hopefully that kind of helps you maneuver around YouTube. Again, go back to these top 3 lines, or the hamburger, some people still call it, or someone might call it something else, that's fine. And this is how you can get back to your subscriptions, your videos that you've watched later, your history, library, whatever you'd like right there. Now, let's say you want to become a YouTuber, or you are doing screencast of a lot more projects or work in your class for the kids to play back later. So a couple things you could do. Right here, where you see this video camera and the plus sign, you can click on that and you can upload a video, or you can even go live yourself on YouTube. And then if you go back here to your picture with your Google account, if I go to my channel, so your channel then, I've got, when I click on my channel, this is how you find your link for people to subscribe to you. Like Elizabeth was saying, some of you were looking at trying to find my channel. It's hard to find me because I'm not, I don't have a heavy presence on YouTube. And so when you search for me, there is another famous Lisa Schwartz out there that people find. Even that's who I find if I search for myself. I don't find me. So what you could do is copy this link and, put this in your classroom, or wherever you would like, email, whatever, for people to start subscribing to your channel. But if it's your students, you might want to just, put it in a link in your classroom. Right here, here's all of my uploads. I can go over and look at all of my videos. Right here, these are the videos that are published out there. This is what you see right now. You can see how many people have viewed the videos. This one I've had out there probably since March, and you can see that over 328 people viewed how to recover a deleted Zoom meeting. So what I have found with videos, the shorter the better. People will, if they're wanting to learn something real quick, they don't want to spend 5-10 minutes watching a video. So if you do start creating videos for your students, or your students creating videos, remember, the shorter the better. And if you can break it down, so then they can just click on it. So that's why with these workshop videos, I was hesitant to record, because I'm like, who's going to want to go out there and look through a 2-hour video of this? But I've had educators, especially with the younger kids, or if they have an IEP meeting right now and they had to step out for a bit to go to that then they come back to look at what they've missed. So per your request, I have been recording them and putting them here. If I go up here to my playlist, again, this is the playlist that I've created. I can see it over here to the left, but it's also up here. Multiple ways for this, to get to the same thing. So sometimes this can be confusing for us, that we can go to a couple different places to get the same information. Again, I can see my channels. And then if there's a discussion here that I've got, and then I've got the About tab. So when you are, let me go back to my home. When I do post the videos, or when you post the videos,
and I had 2 even.
People can make a comment here. They can also give you a plus up or a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the video. I can go back and edit the video, and then I could even go back and look at the analytics of the video. So again, the people who are, you know, wanting to become famous or have more of a presence on YouTube, this may make more sense for them. So here it's showing audience retention. So for the 1 minute video, got 65%. That is pretty high. Again, it's only a short video. Here's real-time activity. So here's the likes versus dislikes of the video. And if you see all of these other percentages here. So people are finding this externally, YouTube search, browse features, or direct or unknown. So again, I'm not trying to become famous with my YouTube video, but for those people who are trying to make money, they can take this, the analytics here. And you know, if you are using this in your classroom, and depending on the age of your kids, this could be good as another lesson to teach about the analytics, and throw that in there as well. I can go to editor and edit my videos here as well. So I will tell you, that's one thing. I don't take time to go back and edit videos. But again, if this was my career, my job, or this is how I was making money, I've got this access to it. I can put music in, lots of different things I can do. I can look at the comments, and then I can also, you know, then look at the subtitles and edit those. So I don't know if, you know, I can make, you know, English the default for my channel, or if I, you know, the French teacher out there, make French the default for her language. So lots of things. And this was under my channel that I got to all of this. So do you see it says your channel? So you should be able to get to this if you created your channel. Again,
Someone just asked if they just saw ASL for the translation. Can you click on that?
Was I in a video?
When you were choosing the language, I believe is what.
Let me just hit back to see if I can go back to where I just was.
Yeah, right there. Was ASL in there?
American Sign Language?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's nice. I hadn't looked at that before.
I also had a teacher that was asking if you go back to the settings. I had a teacher that was, no, if you cancel that and then just go back, asking, she was having people comment on her videos and that was making her uncomfortable.
Oh.
You could also turn off the comments.
Yeah. So if I go into a video here, so when I upload a video, then I can put a required, or put a title here. It is required. And what Elizabeth was saying, I can, yeah, turn off the comments.
It's under more options, I believe.
Okay. Allow all comments, and yeah, right here, you can disable comments. Or people can comment, but you review them before they are posted for your video.
Someone said if you say that the video is for kids, people cannot comment.
Okay. Yeah, it's very strict. They just updated this to go along with the COPA Act, and there are, yeah, some different restrictions when it's made for kids that you have. So commenting is one that people can't comment. Anything else out there people remember? If so, yeah, feel free to put that in there. But you do have to let YouTube know it is made for kids or no, it's not. So again, it's just based off of your answer here. Then you have, you know, the age restriction. You have different things you have to answer then. So again, what Elizabeth was saying earlier about how you can make the video public. Again, if you don't want people to see this that come to your YouTube channel, you can make it unlisted or private. So if you remember a while back, you saw my channel. I had a bunch of videos on there. I didn't make them all public. And then you can even schedule it out like you schedule in Classroom. You can schedule it to go live at a certain time too. I put it under the playlist Google Workshops. And then what you can also do here with, and this is the videos you own that you've uploaded, you can have an end screen. So every time that it ends, you can throw something up there for them to see, whether it's an advertisement or, you know, just a thank you, whatever it may be. You can throw that in there for an end screen. You can also add cards. What cards are, let me click on it. You can ask a question in the middle of the video. You can, so when I click on this, here's my video, and I can add a card at any time. Right now I've got it going at 3 seconds, but if I want, I know I want a card in there at 45 seconds, I can do that as well. So I can ask a question, I can poll the people. I'm seeing this like, well, on that Progressive commercial that they were showing the Zoom meeting, and there was someone on there who was unmuted and she was talking. Up there, they added a card to advertise the, that they could click on the card to go to get a quote for Progressive insurance. So that's another way. But in the Classroom, you could add a card that had a question, you know, if they were watching something about, let's say, blood type that we saw from Science Mom, you know, you've been studying about blood type and the kids learned about the type of blood that they have, you could create a poll with the, you know, is it 5 different choices of blood, 5 different types of blood, but then you have the pluses and negatives. So there could be more. For any science teachers out there, feel free to tell us how many different variations of blood that we all can have. But, you know, they could do a poll right in the middle of the video. Why would you want to do one of these cards in it? You know, you could see if the kids are actually watching the video, and you're putting the cards in the middle and they can answer them, and then you can see the data on how they answered the poll. You could promote another channel. So after they're done with this video, they see a promotion for another channel they could go and take a look at. So you can also
go back over how you got there when you're finished.
Yeah, I sure can. And then you could also throw in another video or a playlist here at the end of the video as well. So how did I get here? Great question. So I will tell you with YouTube that it took me a while to understand what things were, where everything was at. But here I'm on my YouTube channel. This is my channel content. How did I get to all of this? I went up to my channel after I created it. And then here's a video that I uploaded. So you have to have a video uploaded. And then right here to the right-hand side, then I got I clicked on cards. And then when I clicked on cards, it created a new tab for me with the video in it. And then I could add the cards here. So I can add a poll, a question, promote another channel, or even put another video or a playlist in here. So again, this is a lot to remember about YouTube. How are you going to hopefully get more comfortable with it, playing around with it? Maybe take a video of whether it's birds outside, your pets, whatever it is, and upload it. I will tell you, to add cards to your video, it does need to be a minimum of 25 seconds long. So in this video here on slide 11, I've got, this was the Friday after, Black Friday, after Thanksgiving. This is my son here in the blue sweatshirt and some cousins. So, you know, this was the first time that they got up early to go Black Friday shopping. And so then they were singing. And if I'm playing this right here, then I was trying to show you, I thought I had entered cards, put some cards in there, but I guess I don't have it on this one, but the cards then would pop up in the upper right-hand corner as the video was playing.
We have some questions asking how to upload a video to YouTube if they've already created a video and there's something in their drive.
Yeah, perfect. Yep. So again, if you're on YouTube, you've got to go over to your Google account. Well, there's a couple ways. One way, go to your channel and come up here to the video camera with the plus sign. That means to upload a video. I think if you're just at YouTube as well, if you're not even at your channel, if I just go to YouTube, I can do that as well. But I come up here, upload a video, click on upload video. And what I can do, I can just drag and drop it here, or I can go to my drive and get the video from my drive. So if you do use Screencastify, it creates a folder on the back end for you, and it puts all of your videos in Screencastify. Or what I do with, once this video, I stop the recording from today, and it uploads it to my computer, then, or it downloads to my computer, and then I upload it. I just drag and drop it over. So I could do a split screen here and then just drag it over to my YouTube and to upload it, drag and drop my files to upload. If not, I can go here to select files, and then I can select them wherever they're at. So I can go to my Google Drive, if they're in my downloads, wherever they're at, then I can go and upload my video that way. And that's all. And then it might take a while to upload. Again, it depends on your internet. And then once it uploads, then you have access to putting in the name of it, putting in a description if you want. So when it uploads, you have this screen then to change all of these options.
We have someone that just asked if you could talk to us about file sizes.
As far as,
I'm not sure. Jody, if you could maybe elaborate a little bit more on that, or if you'd like to unmute yourself, you can go ahead and do that as well.
With the files, I know with some of these videos or these workshops that I'm recording, you know, some have been over 2 hours, and I haven't had any problem to upload. It just takes longer. I haven't ran into any issue of my file being too large for it to upload.
When I was in the classroom, I would record, I did a thing with mystery readers, and people, so parents and relatives and friends of my students would come in and surprise the class with a book. I would always record them on my phone and then upload them to YouTube through the YouTube app. And it was pretty seamless. And yeah, sometimes it would take a little bit longer. It just depended on how long the video was.
Yeah.
But it would eventually upload.
Yeah, it does. And sometimes I've been using my hotspot to upload it too. So, because I live out here in the country and we don't have the best internet out here. Knock on wood, most part, we've had access to it. I have had a couple days this year where our internet service provider, they say it's atmospheric interference. So I don't know if anybody else has heard that answer. I don't know if that's just an answer they give me to quiet me down and say, hey, just give it some time, it'll be back up. So going back here to YouTube then, again, I know some of you are looking at taking the Google Level 1 certification exam, and I put some challenges here. See if you can do those. Again, if you look at the challenges and think, how do I do some of these? Feel free to stay on. We can walk you through it, some things, or what you could do is play around with it, and then if we need to, we can have another workshop later on at the end of May or June. And now that you've had time to play around with YouTube, what are your questions? But The LTC community is a great place to throw questions out there as well. So here I put a link in for, I found someone posted a YouTube channel that some educators follow and are subscribed to. Take a look at that. So I am going to move on to Google Sites, but hopefully from YouTube, I haven't stressed any of you out too much. Again, if I have, take a deep breath. We'll get through this and know that we do have the recording. You can go back to at your own pace at the time when you're ready to learn about this. So again, you might, hopefully this is making you think how you are a learner during this remote learning time, that, hey, these videos are really helping me. Would my students who aren't ready to learn about grammar or punctuation, or I was working with my son on transitions the other day, and if it's not their time to wanting to learn right now, if they had a resource of videos out there. Another thing you might be thinking, well, how in the heck am I going to have all this time to create these videos? You don't have to. My philosophy in the classroom is, what can my students help me create to help me help other students? So, you know, if you've been with us, you learned about Screencastify, play around with that. Teach your students how to use Screencastify. Do you have to use Screencastify? No, you could use maybe other extensions out there or apps that will help you take a screencast of your screen, and it records it and maybe also records your voice explaining how to do some things. You could throw those into your Google Classroom or into a playlist on YouTube. You'll just have to watch the settings if made by kids and for kids. Again, check your district's policies. But if only other students in your class are watching them and, you know, learning at that time, what a great resource to use other students. And, you know, don't stress about thinking, oh, you've got more workload to do. Anytime, you know, if some of you who are teaching younger students, maybe you can draw on previous students and see if they could create some, you know, screencast of some of the lessons, or how to do some things, because kids might want to pay attention to them more than you. So maybe that's not your case, but I know sometimes with my own students in the classroom, they would pay attention to someone else more than me all the time. So a lot of different choices out there. We can have more conversations on that too if you would like more help. But again, I'm not trying to make more work for you, but to give you ideas of how to incorporate this into the classroom. So we're moving on to Google Sites. Again, take a deep breath. If you're ready for this, stay with us. If not, you know, you can go back and watch the video later. So again, this is another app Google has out there that is fitting the need for some teachers, for some students. Google Sites is like a web page. So for those of you who are older like me, back in the day when we were in college, we might have had to learn how to create web pages and use HTML. You don't have to learn that anymore. Can you still? You still can, but Google Sites has made it so easy for you to create a web page. So how to create a site, I'm going to go over, and then how to edit and maneuver around that site. Elizabeth threw in some examples here of some sites out there. So if you've used Google Sites before, check out these sites. And Elizabeth, do you want to talk about any of those right now?
It's just one site that one of my counselors had made, and she and I worked together on that. And I thought it was really, it could be an awesome resource that you are more than welcome to share, but also just to kind of see how it looks in the end.
Okay, so I like this. So Elizabeth, was it time consuming to make this website? Was it easy if you hadn't used sites before?
She did not have any prior training or anything to the sites. The reason that she decided to use Google Sites instead of a Google Classroom was for confidentiality reasons. She wasn't going to be handing out any assignments or anything like that. She really needed it to be a resource center for her students. So she was able to make the different pages at the top that you're clicking through now with the different resources. She's using these in her sessions with her students as she meets with them. She said that it's been really great. So she created it. I helped her with the sharing permissions and things like that. We had to work with the district to make sure that her students could get to it. And after we got that all worked out, I contacted her just the other day to ask permission to share this with you guys. And she went on to tell me that after she kind of created the skeleton of it, she went back through and put some more work into it, embedded some videos and things like that. She was really excited about it. And I think it's a great tool. And I think that she did a really great job. And like I said, although she's one of my teachers in my schools that I am an instructional coach, she did not ask me for help. And I would say she's not a super techie teacher either. So I think that if she were here today, I think she would tell you that although there were a few hurdles along the way, that it was pretty easy.
Yeah, but that's like anything. So yeah, good to hear. And tell her it looks awesome. So
I see that I have another example that I'm going to throw into the presentation as well, but I'll let you get started and then we can come back to it.
Okay, great.
To share it in the
So yeah, Elizabeth, tell her thank you for letting you share it today, and great example. And we'll go ahead and get started how to look around sites and how to get started yourself. But again, don't panic, don't feel overwhelmed about thinking you need to use Google Sites in your classroom. It's yet another tool Google's thrown out there for us to use, and it might be a fit. So in this case, it was a fit for this counselor because she's not necessarily working with the same students all day long. She just needed a place for resources to go to. Because what I liked about whether you use Sites or if you use Classroom, it's another way of organizing all of your information. I always hated it when they would send us maybe 10 emails during the day about here's a resource you could use in the classroom, or here's a form you need to use. Well, I was teaching during the day, and then, whether it was a week or 2 weeks later, and I'm looking for this form or whatever I need, or resource, they would say, oh, well, I emailed that to you. It's in your email. Well, I wanted it right then and there. And it's nice to have a place to come back to rather than searching my email, that if everything could be in one place, that would be nice. So Sites could be used for that. So how do you go to Sites? If you come up here to the waffle, you can go to Sites. You can also sites.google.com, or I think sites.new works as well. If someone wants to try it, feel free to try it. If it doesn't work, let me know. But I thought at one time I used sites.new. So again, what I can do, they've changed over to a new Google site. So I can go to new Google Sites. And here it is. It's very similar looking to forms, docs, sheets. So I've got, here's my recent sites I've created right here. And then I have a template gallery up here. So again, you may not have the template gallery. Your Google admin might have that turned off. Again, if you see this template gallery and you think some of this might help you, maybe talk to your Google admin. And when I say Google admin, it's the person who's in charge of the back end of Google and what apps that you have available to you through the G Suite apps for education. So here's the different templates that you have. I will show you on this student portfolio. So my background with teaching computer science to the students, the kids would create apps in class. So within a quarter time, we may create 6 to 10 different apps, applications out there in the class. Some of them were very basic, and then as we went on through the class, they got more challenging. So what I had found, they didn't have this template back then, but the kids would create a portfolio using Google Sites and putting all of their work in one spot. It was just a great resource that they could have after they were done with my class. It was digital, and they could show people out there what they've been creating in the computer science class. So here's a template you could use. But if you didn't use the template, and I'll go back to talk about the template too, but yeah, when you do sites.new, it creates a new site for you, or you could even go to blank. So here on, just if you wanted to go and start from a blank canvas here to create a site, I've got my undo and redo right up here. So it does look a little bit different from some of the other apps you might be used to. This will give me a preview. And when I preview this, I can preview it. Right now, I don't think it's going to allow me to preview because I haven't added anything to it. But I can preview it, what it's going to look like on the phone, on a tablet, and on a computer screen. I can copy the published site. Again, you'll have to look at your district policy if some of these sites can be published. If not, you can still use it within your classroom for students to share and have a place for them to put information. You can also add collaborators and share with others. So let me just show you here with the page title. What I could do, if I don't like this theme here, I can come over here to themes and I can change the color, I can change the font. I don't have a lot to choose from. And sometimes that's good when kids are creating this, then they're not spending so much time on, choosing from hundreds of different fonts. You can click on this paint bucket here, and though you can kind of change the color here. If you do know the color code, you could put that in here as well. I know some artists out there or you can look it up real quick as well. And then here's the font styles. So you've got some choice in the matter here. And then your page title. So whatever this may be, if this was a kid's portfolio, I would have them put their name here. And then they could add pages here, or they could just add it here to the main page. They could add things. So if I go over here to insert, I can insert a text box here if I wanted. Again, I can type anything. I'll have them put computer science class. They could, again, when you have a text box, you do have some choices of formatting. So you can change. And then right here, this text box right now is the full screen. If I only want it to go half of it, I can drag it so that it's over here, and then I could put another text box here, or if I wanted to, I could put a picture. So then I would have the students bring in their picture and put on here, and all you have to do is go over here to image, upload, or select. I don't know what images I might have in here. All right. I'll put this image in here, Blake. So then, again, I can move this and drag it up here if I want. So I'm just dragging and dropping if I want. If I don't want it there, I can just drag it and move it down here. But do you see how I have a dotted line there for different sections? I can duplicate this section, I can trash it, and then I can even have a background for this section. Okay. So again, even though I centered this, why it's not right here smack in the middle of center, because I did change the length of this text box. If I want to, I can just go back, click on it, change it. Again, with technology, it's not set in stone. Anything you do, you can go back in and edit and change. I've got different layouts out over here. So if I'm not very good with, my presentation, I can go over here to the layouts and click on layout, and it can give me a different layout, and I can put in, if any of you are artists out there or even scrapbookers out there, it's a kind of a layout like that you can drag and drop pictures in. So then it's kind of centered, or however you would, the layout could be if you're not very good with the layouts. You might also see that people have put in calendars, or they can put in videos here as well. Come over here, anything under insert, you can also put in. I can even also put in a doc. So if this was a Google site that I wanted parents to refer back to find out all the information about my class, I could put in maybe the syllabus to the class, or the class schedule, whatever it is. So then I didn't have to keep maybe emailing the parents when they ask me. I could just say, hey, all of the information you need is on my site. Here's a link to my site, and hopefully that will answer your questions. If not, feel free to get back to me with whatever other questions you have. I can even insert a slide in here. So when I insert a slide in here, a slide deck or a doc, this is what it's going to look like. Maybe it's gonna. So this Google certification workshop I did, was it last week? Click on it, hit insert, and then here is a place to have access to that as well. I thought about when I can find some time, I thought about creating a Google site of all of the workshops I've done during remote learning so people have access to the resources. Just like anything, I run out of time to get everything done in a day. So then people would have access to this as well. And when I preview this, let me go ahead up here to preview. So again, preview's right here. And just I don't know if I clarified at the beginning, this workshop I have going until 11:30. I try to talk about that because I know there was a workshop the other day that went 2.5 hours. And I didn't say at the end, or say that the workshop went until a certain time. So am I correct in saying you guys have this workshop ending at 11:30, that we've got the right time here? If not, let us know. But in my head, I had that time and I had it for 2 PD hours. So right here, then going back to the Google site, I'm in the preview mode. Right now I'm previewing it on a large screen. If I want to see what it's going to look like on a tablet, if my students are on a tablet, I can click on a tablet, or I can look at on the phone. Because again, what I'm noticing with this younger generation, especially my son here, who's 13, that his go-to is using his phone rather than necessarily his Chromebook at times. So then I can see what I've got on here and how it's going to look. And when I insert a slide deck or a doc, what it's going to look like then, they can click through here and see the slide deck. So they can see the information here. Again, it's at their time. They can go back to it at any time if they need to. If I come down here with my slide deck, they can go to the certain slide number they want. And you see some of these have slide titles and some don't. Tomorrow during the workshop, hopefully I'll remember to talk about, if you want the slide title to show, you do have to use a layout that has the word title in it. So that's why it's important, especially if you put it in on a site here, then they can jump around and know, okay, slide 34 talks about the more workshops that are going to be. So they can jump around there if you use the title for the layout. And I purposely didn't do some with that, just to, again, to teach about the layout title. So again, a great place for sites as another option to use, a place to put all of your resources. Now,
they would like to see if you go back to the preview that you were just in, there's a few different layouts that you can click on for the phone or the tablet.
Yeah. Oh, they'd like to see them? Sure.
Yeah.
So the phone, since you've got a smaller interface there, it just scrolls down and has it like in block. Yep. Perfect. Thank you. And then the tablet, a little bit bigger, but kind of compressed as well. So same, I still think, you know, they get the same concept, and it's nice, you know, especially when there's different apps out there that you can create things based off of, hey, are you creating it for Instagram or Facebook? There's different layouts for those as well. Yeah, great question. Thank you. So if you look here under insert, I can insert a bunch of different things here. I can do an image carousel. So what that is, if I have several different pictures, I can insert several different pictures. And then within here, when they're in preview mode, all they have to do is click on that image carousel and look at if I have 10 pictures for that image carousel that they could look through. I can put buttons on there to go to different pages. again, as you can see, I can put all kinds of information. So if this was a site that I created and I wanted to show test scores or whatever, I could insert the chart on there. Again, if it's published, make sure that it doesn't have students' first and last names on it, or check your school's policy on what's allowed. But my main purpose of using it with students was for them to create a portfolio of all of their work and their apps. So this was a place that they could take a screenshot of their app, and then underneath it, then they could explain what the app did and what they learned from it. So I had kids more apt to write about that on a site rather than me saying, hey, open up a Google Doc and write a paragraph about what your app does and how you designed it, or whatever the questions were. So it's just different ways to think about maybe getting the same idea across that you want your kids to learn. So again, you do what works best for you. This is just another tool in your toolbox that you might be able to use. So right now I just have this one page, but if you saw this counseling page, she had several pages up there. Well, does it take a lot of work to get those pages? It doesn't. So if I go back to this site, all I have to do is come up here to pages. So I showed you the themes tab. I've got the pages tab. So again, under the pages here, I got home, go to these 3 dots. So click on the 3 dots. I can duplicate this page if I want. I can look at the properties, or I can add a sub page. I want to add a sub page. And so if this was, the student's portfolio, I could have them also create a portfolio or a page on, let's see, everything that they were learning in geography, or all of their other subjects. They could then take a screenshot or share their work here on this geography page. So up here, did you see that came up? I didn't create that. It created that when I typed it in over here. So click on home, it'll take me back to home. I can go back and forth to home and geography. If I want another sub page, I can create another sub page. So I put geography, I'll just go ahead and put math, hit done. So again, I can even create a sub page off of geography or math. So off of math, let's say I want to create a sub page called, maybe I'll call it just algebra. Let's say I'm taking a couple different math classes. So then I can go to home. So I'm at home, here's my home page. Then I can go to geography. And then as you can see, math, when I click on math, then there's another arrow there, meaning there's a sub page there under math. And I can click on that and go to algebra. So lots of different things. Now, I think Elizabeth, what's the counselor's name? So I don't have to keep calling her she.
Miss Grimes.
Miss Grimes, okay. And I think that was on the home page.
Yes.
So Miss Grimes on her page, she has them coming across there. You can do that as well. Right now, I don't know if it's under properties. I forget how to do that. Maybe you could do a custom path too, but there's a way to do that. Let me see. So the navigation, I've got it at the top. I can move it to the side, and we can maybe figure out, maybe someone out there knows right now, but right now my brain's not remembering where that's at for them to all show up there. But they're all there. It's just with that drop down arrow. It's just a setting. So maybe go up to gear, and well, no, I was just at gear settings. It's at the top or side. I don't know. There's a way. So
we had a question about collaborating on a Google site.
Okay.
About that?
Yeah, great. So right up here is the collaboration here. When I click on this, I've got some of you who've been with us this week. I don't know, I can't remember if we talked about it in one of the workshops, but I think it was Tuesday that Google changed the look of when you share a link. So here's the new look. Not everything's still about the same, it's just a different look. So right now, the links vary, change. So I can add the person right here. I'll just add Elizabeth here since I know she's in my people. So when I add Elizabeth, I can make her an editor as well, or just a published viewer. So she can view it when it's published, because you can set it where it's not published, out there on the web. It's only published to people that you want to see it. Again, when you're talking about kids and privacy, check with your school policy, but some of these things, with the Google sites I created with my students, we didn't publish them out there. It was mainly more for themselves to have that portfolio at the end of the day with all of their work in it in one place. I'll go ahead and make you an editor, so then she can make changes on this as well. But also, if I go right here, the links, I can change it. So right now, it's in draft. It's restricted. Only people added can open with this link. I can have it just people within my Google domain of the Learning Technology Center can have access to it, or anyone with the link can have access to it. So very similar to everything, similar to sharing and collaborating with the other apps and within Google. So right now it's a published site within the LTC, but if I want, I can make it public, or again, if I don't want it to be public, put restrictions on there. So only people added can open with this link. And then if I come up here to the 3 dots, again, I've got version history. I can duplicate this site, report a problem, help, or I can even take a tour of Google Sites. So if I am ready to publish, I can publish my site if I want. Again, who can view my site? Specific people. Look at managing right now. I've got the restricted, that it's not going to be published out there, only people who have access that I give the link to. And then when I go back there and hit publish and I put, I'll put Blake in there. So then here's the web address, then it's going to be here, and it's going to have Blake at the end. But it's going to have your school domain, your Google domain, in the URL, and then I can publish it. But even though I hit publish, who can see this? If I go back to my settings here, my links, it's only people added. Well, that's only people added can open with this link. So if I go back here to publish, look at my published settings. Okay, editors must review changes before publishing. Okay. So the question is, I can unpublish it here, but when I publish it, can anybody see it? I don't know. I don't know that question right now. And do you see, you're seeing me learn that I don't know everything. Google makes changes. I don't have, again, the time to keep up with every single change that they make. So as I'm looking at stuff, I learn as well. And I think that's what, especially in this day and age, the kids need to see more than ever. My suggestion to you, though, when you are putting something new out there with the students, maybe make sure it's not on a day that you're being evaluated and your evaluator expects you to know everything. And it might make you more comfortable too if you do know everything. But anytime if you are being evaluated and you don't know something, say, oh, that's a great question. Let's, look it up, or, maybe you can look it up and report back to the class. So that's Google Sites. What are questions about Google Sites?
Someone asked if a parent can be added. I think that when you go back to when you're going to add a person, so when it's a little, yep, that one, that's where you can change the links down below, whether it's restricted or not. So if you wanted to share that with parents, then you would have to make it public. So then anyone that you send the link to would be able to have access to your site. I have another teacher that said that their technology admin took their site name and added it to the district page. So that was a nice way for her to direct parents, I'm sure, to find her webpage. So that could be an option as well.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Earlier in the chat, we had somebody asking if they could embed their classroom into their Google site. We had some conversations in the chat, but basically I told them that, classroom's more used for like that collection of assignments, and the site could be like a storage hub for information. So if you wanted to use both, you could link your site into your Google Classroom as that information piece. But you would definitely want to use Classroom as well to collect their information.
Yeah, good suggestions. But yeah, Classroom, because of privacy issues, yeah, I would think, right now Classroom's not even an option over here, but exactly what you said, Elizabeth. But yeah, good questions. And that's, I love questions because that shows me that your activity is going on in your brain. So hopefully you're taking this in and seeing, oh, what if this, what if that? And just like, in my classroom, I would always try to give the kids playtime. But I noticed that usually they need some structure, say, hey, here's some things that I want you to know, and here's how to maneuver and go about creating this, and then give them playtime, explore, click on buttons, and that's how they can find out what it can all do. So again, don't stress out thinking, oh, this is something else you have to create. It's not. It's just another resource, another tool in your toolbox that you can use in different ways, whether it's disseminating information to your parents or to your students. It could be used for that, or having the kids create a site for all of their work. And what I liked about that was since it was digital, then when parents would come in for parent-teacher conference or student-led conferences, then the students could log in and show them their work. If they had technology at home and they couldn't make it in for the conference, the student could show them the site at home as well. So Elizabeth, it looks like she added some more links here. I appreciate that. If you are looking at doing the Google Level 1 exam, here I put a challenge in here. See if you can do that. Do you have to do this challenge? No, you don't. Again, it's just kind of taking time to see if you can process what you've learned, and it kind of gives you some structure to learn some things as well. So it looks like we've got 10 minutes left here. I do want to jump down to slide 19 here. There are some more upcoming workshops. I will tell you this. Yesterday, I put in the wrong links for May 11th and 13th. So if you were on yesterday and you tried to register, I had the wrong links on. My apologies. That was me trying to get the information out to you guys fast. And so go back to these links to make sure you are registered. Do you have to come for the Google Level 1 Prep Part 1 and Part 2 next Monday and Wednesday if you want to take the exam? You don't. If you've been with me all this week talking about the apps that in the G Suite apps for education, that is a lot of what's covered on the exam. And then hopefully you've also gone through the fundamental Level 1 training. Then what you could do, you could click on slide 21 here and apply for a voucher to take the exam. I will tell you this, what happened this week, Google is changing over their exam structure. They used to use Criterion, and they still do, with this voucher. But if you don't have a voucher, then you have to use a different platform. And I, notice some of you said you've been with me for several workshops here the last couple of weeks, and Google encouraged it to be open book to Google some of the questions. Well, they are changing that with this new ProctorU platform. There's actually a live person that talks to you. They want to see your testing environment. They don't want to see another computer next to you. They've said for you to put your phone off to the side. They have, they don't like to see people writing down stuff now. So they are changing the testing environment, but I don't know, there's still talk. I mean, this just all came down this week. So I've been trying to scramble and learn as much as I could to share out with you. As of right now, you can, if you've been with us with these workshops, you can fill out this form to get a voucher and take the exam with that voucher using the Criterion website. If you don't have the voucher, you're not ready to take it until maybe later this year, next year, you'll just have to use the ProctorU site. And there's some differences. And as soon as everything's been updated from Google, we'll try to get that information passed on to you as well. So again, don't mean to scare anyone, but I know things have changed since last Friday, since I had the Google Certification 101 workshop. So, but as of right now, they are still accepting this Google voucher form and still you're still working on what I talked about last Friday. So if I've confused you anymore, welcome to my world. I'm kind of confused too from Google, but no, I think we can get your questions answered when you're ready to take the exam. But if you are looking at taking the exam next week, I think you should be fine. And then just again, do you have to be in the workshop on Monday and Wednesday? You don't, because what I kind of did was this week for some of you wanted the Google prep for the exam, and I just kind of spaced it out and gave us more time to learn these apps. Next week, within these 3 hours of each of the workshops, we'll go at a faster rate, but you'll be getting the same material that you've gotten this week, but just over a longer amount of time. So I know I threw in this information about Chrome basics too. I will cover this next week, but again, if you've been with us on these workshops, I think you should be fine. If not, look back through these, slide 15 through 18 about the Chrome basics review and see if you have any questions. If you do, feel free to email Elizabeth or I or someone else from the LTC. And we wish you luck on the exam. If not, you're more than welcome to still join us next Monday and Wednesday as well.
We had someone ask if they have been participating in these classes over the last few weeks, how would you like them to answer the level 1, level 2 prep answer on the voucher application?
Oh, what date? Are they asking about what date to fill in?
Yeah.
You can just put down one of the dates, and then what we'll do, we'll go back to the registration and verify that you've been in more than one. So you can put down any of the dates, that's fine. You can, put down today's date. Yeah, great question. Thanks for asking. So again, hopefully from whether it's just this workshop only or other workshops you've been with us, that I love this quote by Maya Angelou. I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better. So I hope you are taking some of these resources, and hopefully you will see a change in your lessons, whether it's now in the fall, that it's helping you grow as an educator, as a person, as a learner. So again, we appreciate your time and being with us. On the evaluation, feel free to put down any suggestions, anything else you would like to see. I know some people would like to have more interaction. I would too. That's what I'm used to. But we're trying to reach as many people as we can during this time. And it's just been easier to have two of us here and someone helping out in the chat. So again, appreciate your willingness and flexibility as well. So I've been enjoying doing this. Hopefully you've been enjoying learning. And Elizabeth, again, thank you so much for sharing and helping out in chat and everything you've been doing as well. What I will do is I will stop sharing my screen here. Again, this workshop was mainly about YouTube Insights. I did throw some stuff in there about Chrome. So first off, I want to take any questions if people have questions about YouTube Insights. And then if anybody wants me to talk about Google Chrome and the search skills, I can do that as well. But you're free to go if you don't have questions. Again, we appreciate you being here. And I will stop recording in case if people want to ask questions and don't want to be on the recording. So